Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to try to make a metal tone using the X-Titan amp from the new upgrade. So this is the Boss GX-100 and I'm trying to build a metal tone using this guitar. This is Solar 1.6, I believe. I never know the names of the guitars, but anyways, yeah, no, 2.6, yes. So it's a very beautiful guitar with Duncan pickups, Solar Duncan pickups. And it's dropped down half step, and then this string is like dropped down to D. It's not D, but anyways. So the amp that I have here, for now, everything is kind of turned off and kind of in the middle. If it's not, I'm gonna put it there in a second. Okay, and the gain, it's in the middle too. Just the level, it's at 70, so I can have some tone, some sound here. And I'm recording this via USB, but it's the same if you use two jacks into your audio interface, okay? So X-Titan, original cab, just a guitar, no EQ, everything at noon, dynamic 57, short mic distance at the center, okay? So this is the basic thing. It's already a pretty decent tone, but I want to sculpt it a little bit more, tighten up that low end, and maybe get rid of some fizziness. Of course, this fizziness also depends where you connect it, because if you go into an FR, you can control that as well if it has an EQ and stuff like that. Anyways, I have a noise suppressor fairly high here. First thing I want to do is try out different microphones, okay? Independent of the distance. And I'm going to stick with the original cab, okay? So this is a dynamic 57. Let's put it like 421 here. If you take notice, the fizziness kind of went a little bit down. Now this is a taste thing, I guess, and depending on the speakers. Now a condenser 451, also usable, much darker. Now we have a condenser 87, as well darker. A Ribbon 121. Then you have the blend A, blend B, and blend C. So now this is where the magic happens. And I can't recall now which microphones are blended, but we go there by ear. So blend A, much brighter. Then we have blend B. Sounds good. And finally, not finally, we have blend C. A little bit darker than the blend B. Check it out. Now the blend C, bit darker, I like it, and then flat. So I really like this one here, the 421. Or one of the blends, but I want to stay with 421. Now we have the mic distance, which is very important. It's right in the cone. So if it's in the cone, it's going to give you all that harshness. That we're trying to get rid of the harshness before we get into the EQ. Many people just go into the EQ and cut all the high end, but I don't want to do that for a starter. So let's start with the mic position because it's right in front of the cone. Nice harmonic. If we go like 2 centimeters, less harsh. If we go like 4, even less. So let's put it way up, and the tone begins to disappear. So I really like it like 4 centimeters. Starting to get a little bit muddy, probably 2 centimeters. Yeah, I like that. Now the mic distance, medium. So we have short, medium, and long. Let's start with the medium one. So if you guys record at home with microphones, you already know if you put it very far from your amp, you start to pick up your room, not what happens here, but sort of what happens here in the digital domain. and you start losing some low end and stuff like that. So I really like it short. If you put it very long, it's like there's something in between. If you put it really short, it's in your face, and that's what we want. Now regarding the gain, usually I don't go full gain, but I'm gonna try it full gain right now. And the reason why I do that, usually, doesn't mean I don't do that here, is because if I'm gonna add some overdrive pedal, I don't want it to have too much gain here. So we're gonna start by putting this high and put it full gain just to see how it sounds. There's a lot of gain going on. It's cool for you to play along or play by yourself, but the problem is if you're going to record guitars and stack them up like double takes and quad guitar takes, you don't want too much distortion or else your guitar will disappear, okay? Now let's go for the resonance and max it out. We lose some body of the guitar when it's -10. And when it's totally on 10, there's more body and less high end. Take a listen. So it's a compromising. I'm going to leave it there. And we haven't even touched our EQ. Now the sexing with compression, let's put it on 10. Every time I do this, I pick up some harmonic always in the same place. I don't know why. And -10 here. It seems like a little bit open when it's like -5. So for now, this bottom thing, it's okay. Now, let's go to our bass and increase it a little bit just to see what happens, because we already have a lot of bass. Mighty tone, but it's flubby at the low end. So let's take it here. Let's increase our mid, just see what happens. See the harmonic I take by mistake? Always like that. Let's put it like this to see what happens. Now you got more of a dark tone. This is cool, but to cut through the mix is not that easy. Okay, so we're gonna give it a little bit more. Not much more. Now the treble thing I don't really like. As you see, it's very aggressive, so I'm going to take out some treble and see what happens. Let's see if we can compensate this with the presence now, or just leave it at noon and then go for the presence like this. More like this, and take a little bit of treble. By this point, I'm asking myself if I need to use an EQ, because EQ is totally disengaged. There's no cut in the low end or high end, less treble. You know, your ears also start to accustomate to the tone coming from your speakers, and probably you need to take time, do an interval, and back again, so you can see if there's too much high end or not. Here's your harmonic again. So now that I'm happy with this for now, I'm going to my EQ, gonna engage it, and the first thing I'm gonna do, it's already cut at around 10. So first flat. Five. Usually I could cut here, but it's just darkening the tone too much. So I'm gonna leave it at 10 to get rid of some fizziness. This is just to check for fizziness. I like the way it is. So I really don't know if I'm going to do too much here, because it's really cool. Now, let's check out this 315 frequency. Or around here somewhere. Okay, I took minus 2 decibels, around 630. But I'm probably going to increase the low Q. Also, the harmonic sync. I really don't know where it comes from. When I try to replicate it, I can't play it. So it's sounding good, but a little bit too much distortion on the low end. And I think we want to get rid of that. So let's go here and low cut a little bit more. And around probably 300. Okay, I think it's cool. Let's add our overdrive. Let's start with Overdrive 1, the pedal that comes new on this firmware. Just engaging it and see what happens. Suddenly we have a much tighter bottom end. But probably there's too much distortion. Guys will do something like this. Which is cool to play, but it's not okay to record. So what I'm going to leave it around here, and I'm going to my amp and take a little bit more of distortion. Now I can do two things, either, and they do different things, increase the distortion on your amp or on your pedal. Let's start by increasing on our amp. To see if there's so much of a difference. Now let's go to our pedal, or just leave it like that and increase the drive. Let's see if it makes much of a difference. Yes, it does. It accentuates the low mid. So if you're going for more of a genty tone, I'll probably use the pedal. But I don't want that, so I prefer to increase the amp gain here. Also less artifacts. If you take notice on that harmonic, there's less artifacts when it's this way than when we increase the overdrive pedal. Of course, we've lost some bass, and you can use a tube screamer as well, but I want to try to use all the new stuff. So I'm going to increase the bass here, because now it's much tighter. And I don't want to really touch the microphone and stuff like that, because if I start doing that, then I have a totally different tone, just by, you know, if I put it like this, I have to re-EQ again everything, so I want to leave it as is. There are some guys that like to put a reverb just to give it a little of ambience, although we can try that. Although I don't think it's going to work good. Let's just try to do that. Where is my reverbs? Okay, so I'm gonna add a reverb here at the very end and put it like a small hole, like 1.9 for just to see what happens. So not much of a density. If I increase this level to hear the reverb, you don't want that on a metal tone, never. Okay. Now let's disengage a pretty delay. I don't want that as well. Let's cut everything around 400 and also around 5. So let's see if it's making anything. Maybe it's giving it a little bit ambience. Now with the reverb on. Okay, let's stay with that on, and just a little tiny bit of reverb, just give it a little bit more of an ambience thing, but that's it. Now I'm going here to my control expression pedal, and in the sign button, I'm going to put here what I want to overdrive on and off. That's basically it, what I want to control. So right now on the pedal board, control 1 is controlling my overdrive. If I disengage it here, okay, we have this tone. So it's kind of a compromise, because if it's disengaged, you're going to have all this bottom hand, which is cool for certain styles, but I want to do more of a metal scoop and not scoop, but tightening thing. Now let me increase here the bottom. I just realized there's too much loss in the low end. So now when I disengage it, there's always a big difference in volume as well. So I'm going to leave it engaged, and I'm going to write this as is because I think it's great. Then you can download it and make more adjustments to it. Just increase a little bit more the bottom hand here. All right. Wait, what happened? Like this. Okay, let's write it. Let's call it lead, and then the next one, let's call it solo, because let's do 2 patches, one for solo, which will be different than this one, using the same amp, but different parameters, so your solo can stand out, but on metal solo. Okay, so what I do now is write the same patch in the next bank, and let's call it solo. Okay, then you can download this and try it out for yourself to see if it sounds good on your system, because there's all these things you have to adjust, of course. Presets are starting points, not necessarily the end thing, but sometimes they really result like the end thing, like some clients have been telling me. So now, what you have here, the same tone. Now let's go first to our EQ and the things that I've disengaged here, like, so I'm gonna put it at 0, because I need a little bit more of mids, and I'm going to sculpt that and low cut it even higher. I don't need really that low end. I can go to 160 here. Still a very dry sound. Now I'm going to grab my delay plus here. I'm going to put it there. No, not there. I want it before the reverb and disengage it. Now, the reverb, we can go for a plate, probably, like so, and increase the level, see what's going on. Not too much going on. Increase it more density, and open a little bit more here so it can be audible. You also have to pay attention to your noise suppression, because you'll probably cut sooner than you think when you're making a solo, so let's back it up a little bit more. If you have too much noise, you really have to increase it, right? Like it's happening right now, so I'm going to increase it a little bit more, okay? Now let's go to our reverb again and put it a little bit louder. Before that, I'm going to my amp and increase the mids to cut through the mix, but not that much or your tone will be completely different. Just by doing this, you're already increasing the volume of your amp. I'm going to decrease the treble a little bit because we want like this liquid, smooth top end. It's working great. Now I'm going to do a dual delay and tape because there's also, no, analog because there's some modulation to it. And I'm going to put it like 600 from one side and around 400 to the other side. Engage it. Or maybe let's go with tape to see if you have more definition. Definitely this one. Here I want a faster delay. Okay, less effect volume there. Okay, much less like so. So I want to hear more the kind of a slap echo. Reduce this one as well. And the feedback could be here on this one, but this one a little less. Now here, to finalize the tone, I'm going to increase my gain here, not past the middle, just increase the gain. I think we're ready to go. If you want to give just a little tiny bit gain here so it stands out when you click on that button. Great, let's write this one, and that's all guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to now share the patches so you guys can download them and try for yourselves and let me know in the comments if they work great or not. This is the X Titan. Next video I'll try to do for the other amps that are included. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm asking you because it's very important to make this so I can continue making these videos. And stay tuned for more. Many thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Cheers.